Hello Flosstube, it's Lori of MischievousStitches. I want to welcome all of you to my channel on this 4th of July holiday weekend. Here in America, we're celebrating Independence Day today, and it's usually followed by backyard barbecues, fireworks, fun and memories. So I have family coming over later today. My husband and I have been very busy this morning. We've been up since about 6 a.m. He's smoking some ribs and a pork tenderloin, and I have a pork roast in the oven that we're going to pull apart for barbecue sandwiches. Everyone else is bringing the sides, and we have the badminton set up outside, as well as some cornhole games. So we're going to have lots of fun, spend lots of time outdoors, laughing, cutting up, and enjoying this holiday. So I hope those of you in the US that are watching have a wonderful and safe holiday. We plan to do the same thing, just lots of fun. I'm looking forward to everyone coming over. They're going to be here about 3 p.m. today, so that's our standard time when we do family dinners, but we're going to have a backyard full, and I hope everyone enjoys themselves. So that's what we're doing today. In the past couple of weeks since I visited with you, I'm still tending to my little garden every day. I'm getting more and more cucumbers. Peppers should be ready in the next few days. They're getting there. They're growing, and we've had lots of rain, so that's caused its own little issues. Those of you that follow me on Instagram may have seen where I showed a few pictures of horned worms. I'm getting those on my tomato plants, and I don't know they're there until they've happily munched away for several hours. And there's 2 different kinds. I've had to research this. I knew what they were, but someone on Instagram mentioned that the one I had was not a tomato horned worm. It was a tobacco horned worm, and there is a difference, and the only difference is the horn on the back on its tail. It looks like a little spike. The tomato hornworm has a red spike, and I'm sorry, I said that wrong. The tobacco horned worm has a red spike, and the tomato hornworm has a blue. And of course mine has a red, so it's a tomato hornworm. I did see that those are actually, I think it's 5-spotted hawk moths that lay those on the underside of the tomato leaves, and of course when they burst out they begin to climb the stalk and eat the leaves. So I've had 4 total, and I had another fellow cross-stitch Instagram friend mention to me that it's easy for her to see them when she uses a black light at night to see her hornworms. So I went on Amazon, I ordered one. I don't think you'll be able to see it. Well, maybe you are. I don't want to hurt anybody's eyes, but it is purple. Of course, it's a black light. I did not find any more worms, so I'm hoping they're gone, but who says a moth won't come back and lay more eggs? I don't know. But with that being said, I had a fun night a couple of nights ago outside with that black light flashlight. I'm looking at everything because I can remember as a young girl lots of late night bowling alleys that would do things for teens would have black lights everywhere, and they turn the lights off with the exception of the black lights, or there would be school dances that you would have black light instead of regular light. So I knew that the white of things would show. But lots of things show in that light that you don't expect. And the pollen, I guess because it's dusty, the pollen in the center of my flowers was really picking up that black light, and they were beautiful. But the best and coolest thing that I saw was, as I'm looking for those hornworms on my plants, bumblebees were asleep on the underside of my cucumber leaves, and their little bodies, the yellow of their bodies, were being picked up by that black light. And it was just, I didn't know that. So now I want to know more. Every week that garden makes me think how I want to know more. And so I'm learning all these new things. We all learn every day, but that's currently what I'm digging into. Things in my garden, things that I see there, things that overwatering, underwatering. We have a very hot, humid atmosphere here in South Carolina. I'm looking at how all of that affects my garden. But with that being said, that's what I've been doing other than my cross stitching. So I have continued to cross stitch. I'm stitching more. We've done most all the yard work right now. It's very hot, so we're at the point where we're just maintaining, and we maintain about 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, and around that time in the PM, 6 or 7 o'clock before the sun goes down, or right after the sun goes down, to water and do the weeding and that kind of thing because it's so warm in the middle of the day. And my skin does not like the sun. I have 2 shades, white and bright red. There's no in between for me. So I have to be very careful that I keep myself in the shade. So that's how I do it. Go out early in the morning, do yard work, or late in the evening. So, okay, when I left you last, I had finished up my Redwork sampler by Mojo Stitches. And I have since passed that chart along to a friend. And I can't wait to see her stitch it. But I picked up another, and this is one I believe I did share on my last video because I knew that I wanted to stitch her, and it was a toss-up between this one and an Omen and the Queen's Crown sampler by Plum Street, and I decided to start in Womack 1838 by Shakespeare's Peddler. So of course this is the antique on the cover of the pattern, and I'll let you read the poem there that is on the piece. And so I chose, it calls for 40 count vintage exemplar linens by Lakeside and russet red by Needlepoint Silk, which is number 207. Which is the way it looks here. I don't have any of that needlepoint, but the way it looks in this pattern looks to be more of a burgundy, dark burgundy. I chose a DMC color 3772, which I think is a beautiful red. And it's really beautiful. I'm using Vintage Country Mocha linen, 40 count. And here is where I got. I'm still doing my 1 red thread before bed. So I've gotten a good bit. Is there something? Okay. I've gotten a good bit done on this one. I'm very happy with my progress. And I bought several skeins of this, and I'm keeping them on this thread keep that I got at a Sampler Guild of Georgia retreat a couple of years ago. And this is actually the green that I'm using for my current blue ribbon design, the Alphabet Zoo. If you've been watching, you've seen me share that one. But this is the one I'm using for this current piece. So I'm gonna hold the threads up. And these look so good together. They remind me of a Prairie Schooler or a Christmas piece. Those two, that red and that green, look really good together. But all in all, this is what I'm stitching. And it's beautiful, and I'm enjoying it. And with 1 thread, when you're stitching with 40 count, when I'm putting that 1 thread in, it seems like 1 thread's not gonna get me anywhere. When you're stitching on 40 count, it makes a lot of progress, that 1 thread. So I'm gonna continue to work on that one. I've not picked it up today so far, and I may not, to be honest, get to it today. It's got a full plate. I also made a start on July 1st. I started a stitch along with MelyEllyStitches here on Flosstube, and it's the Mexican Band Sampler by Needlework Press. And I've had it in my stash for a while, and I actually thought I didn't have it, and I was looking for it, and a friend of mine sent it to me. And so I kept hers. I'm stitching from her pattern, and I passed my piece along to Yanni. And I'm looking forward. I admire Yanni. I loved her Flosstube videos and the things that she stitches, and I decided to stitch along with her on this one. And we decided on the 1st, so I've only got just a few days on it, but it's very colorful. I'm using the DMC threads, and actually I don't think I brought them here down. I only have a few. I'm missing a... you know I have a full set of DMC, but I don't keep them in any kind of container, and I've got so many things on the go or kitted up that my supplies are everywhere. I'm missing some of the threads, and this is just a mess of stitches, but between bobbins and my floss tags, these are some of the colors. So it's very beautiful, bright, unusual colors. When I mean unusual, it's not the typical muted, dusty, older, aged colors that are normally used on a sampler. So this one is going to be fun because it's different. It's different to me. So I've kind of jumped down and not finished a row just because I want to see how the colors all work together. I've actually used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different colors in it so far, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So I'm going to put this one away, and then I've got one finished to share with you, and I'm very excited about that. I did finish it on the 2nd. I have not fully finished it. We have a wooden fence in around our backyard, and we have one of the planks of board that was used to make it. I'm hoping to somehow use that to craft my finish on this piece. So if you've watched me, I know the past video, and maybe the past 2 videos, you've probably seen my start and my work in progress on Bent Creek's. This is Stars and Stripes Forever. When I last showed it, I had a couple of people comment to me that they couldn't find it anywhere, that had been sold out. I don't know if 123 Stitch currently has it in stock, but that's where I got this one. And I bought it in the first part of May, and I know a lot of people are doing their Patriotic stitches right now, and I can just imagine that a lot of the Patriotic charts are out of stock right now. But I found my copy on 123 Stitch, and I purchased it like the 1st or 2nd week of May. And here is my finish on it. So it stitches up pretty quickly. I think I stitched on it about a week and a half, no more than 2 weeks. It's fun. It has a total of, I think, 5 colors. And I use the DMC. And it's on a piece of lamb's wool linen, which is what it calls for. So I'm going to give it to you a little closer up. I love how the words are outlined with white. That's unusual too. I'm going to let you look a little closer with that too. Can you see it? Or you may just see that. Let me close the blinds. So I'm really happy with this. And as I said, I'm hoping to come up with a way to use that last plank that is just that lonely plank of fencing to finish this up. Maybe paint it white and with a crackle paint, and maybe wax it so that it's a little dirty, dingy, weathered, and finish this on it to display next year for 4th of July. So I won't get it up this year. And then today I've made another start. My friends Donna and Mary and Natasha and I are starting another stitch along together. And it is, wrong one. It is, I think it's God Bless America. It's a new Erica Micheals release. I'm sure some of you are already starting it or have purchased it. And I ordered this one from Stitch and Frame. This is, yes, God Bless America by Erica Micheals. It has a total of 5 colors in it. 4 colors, 3 shades of blue, and then a red. And I've gotten a good bit of progress, but I know I won't be picking this one up again this evening. But while I'm getting everything ready and together this morning, I went ahead and made a start. And so I have a few hours in this one. So I was an early riser this morning. So there's that one. And I've got it housed in my haul. So MelyEllyStitches here on Flosstube has Busy Bunny Bag Company on Etsy, where she will randomly put bags that she has made. And I saw this one and I knew about my little stitch along with my friends. And so I ordered it, and it is so well made. So she's got this beautiful little fob that has a star at the end and the little pony beads in red, white, and blue. And I love that this fabric is like weathered fence planks. So, and then the inside is the stars and stripes, but mainly the stars. And so I love it. So she also has an Instagram page, which I'll link her Flosstube and her Instagram page and her stitching Instagram page down below, so you can go follow Melanie. But once again, this is my start, and I hope to get back to this tomorrow. I'd love to have the flag done before I go back to work. And then I had a lot of questions on my last video. Oh, back to the God Bless America. I'm doing it in the DMC, the call for DMC with flax linen, 36 count flax linen. I ordered this from the Stitch and Frame shop in Rock Hill, South Carolina. They did not have the called for fabric or the, it's probably Week Style Works or Classic Color Works. I don't know if it's it may be a, let me look. It may be a combination of both. Nope, it's one of them is DMC, the other three are Week Style Works, and they did not have those colors, so I just asked them to send me the DMC, and they did. So I'm stitching it totally in DMC. Now, back to that, I had a lot of questions about the charts that I shared with everyone that a sweet Flosstube watcher had sent with Anne of Green Gables. And so when Miss Judy sent those and I shared them with all of you, you were excited about it and wanted to know more, but you wanted to know who the designers were, if they're still in print. I did not look to see if they were in print, but I thought I would share them with everyone one more time so that you could see the name of the designer. Now, this is Kindred Spirits. This is the Green Gables series of Charland Designs right here. This is the one that got a lot of attention, and so I wanted to make sure you could see it. So it has the address there, but no website. So I'm assuming by that this is an older design. Now this one is also a Charland design, but it's just the chart and just the picture. So I don't have, but like I said, it's got Charland, which is the same designer for the Kindred Spirits, but this one says 1989. Like I said, I do not know if it is still in print, but this looks like Green Gables with the Snow Queen outside of Anne's window. And then the third one that I was sent was I'm not going to attempt to say that, but again, this one's from 1992, Cherry Tree Designs, and this is that sampler name. And there is the sampler. So I hope that answers any of the questions that I had from the last video. And then, so this week I did get a giftie in the mail from a friend, and she did have a Flosstube, and her name was Lady Tooth Doc. And she accidentally purchased 2 of these patterns and sent one to me as well as the other so I could give it away to you. So if you're interested, down below, you can just mention Lady Tooth Doc. So she was a dentist, and once again, it's Lady Tooth Doc down below. And this is Silver Creek Samplers. And this is Always Be a Lighthouse. Shine your beacon bright. Guide every soul adrift at sea throughout their darkest night. And this is by Diane Grick of Silver Creek Samplers, and it's called Lighting the Way. It has all DMC with the exception of one. It calls for White Lightning Week Style Works, but it also suggests DMC 5200, which we all know is that bright, bright white. So, and the fabric it suggests is light, spooky, hollow, Ada from Fabric Flair, using 1 strand of floss. So I'm going to give this away this week. When I come back on next week, I will have chosen the winner and commented on their name below. So if today is the 4th of July, so if you are going to put in for this, it needs to be within the next 7 days. Okay. I also have one other giveaway, and this is just for little old me. I'm going to pass along Stars and Stripes Forever by Bent Creek Designs. This piece was inspired, I was inspired to stitch this piece from my friend Kitty. She was working on this when we got together about at the beginning of May. And so I reached out and purchased it, and she's still stitching along on hers. But I would love to pass this along to someone. So just on this one, just mention Old Glory, Stars and Stripes Forever, down below, and you'll be entered to win this, and it'll be the same as the other one. I will choose the winner next Saturday evening. Today's the 4th, so I'll choose it next Saturday evening, and so you have, no, Sunday. No, that's right. I'm going to confuse you. Next Saturday evening will be my cutoff. That's when I will choose the winner for this one as well. Okay, so I'm going to put those to the side. So I'll have them. And then I think that's it. That's everything that I've been working on. Oh, one other gifty. I got this from a sweet Flosstube friend, Brenda, and I had stuck it in my stitch bag that I take back and forth to work. And of course, there's been no time for stitching on lunch break at work. And I forgot all about it. And I apologize, Brenda. I'm so thankful for the gift. And I know I haven't sent the thank you note, but I have just forgotten all about it. Stuck it in there, haven't thought about it again. And I was pulling things out of that bag to see what I had in it. And I found this, and I'm embarrassed I don't have it out yet. So the thank you note, but I do want to thank you here. But it's just packaged up so beautifully. There's a couple of different beautiful fabrics. And one of the, I'll use these. Do you guys use these? These are the 3x3 squares that you use to find the starting point for on your fabric. So you can use, there's a 1 inch, a 2 inch, a 3 inch. And I always have 3 inches unless I'm really scrambling for a piece and it only has about a 2, but I usually will not go less than 2 inches on my border around my stitch pieces when I'm cutting my fabric. But I love using these. And I did not have a clear one. I have a wooden one. I have several different ones, but this one is gonna be the best one. And then I've got a couple of pieces of fabric. I'm gonna share them with you because they're beautiful. Look at that. Make a beautiful, beautiful stitch bag. And this one's everything garden. Flowers, butterflies, love it. And then I have a sweet little pattern, and this is, let me put these glasses on. Established with Love. And this is a third in a series of 12 designs released in 2010. Look at that. Home sweet home. Just beautifully packaged. She has beautiful handwriting. Love it, love it. Can't wait to put that margin guide to good use. And what else? Like I said, that's all that I have. I've had a lot of others that's asked how I'm doing. Have I been to the doctor? Yes, I have. I did see an ENT week before last. Yes. And I do not have vertigo. I was diagnosed with, let me say this right, viral inflammation in the nerves behind my ear that are attached, you know, I guess from the ear to the brain, I think is how he described it. It is going to be temporary. It will not be reoccurring. It will trouble me from now until, I guess, my body fights it off. But I will have effects from it. Like that right now, there's just not a buzz, but I'm aware something's off in this ear. But at the same time, I have nowhere near, not even a 5% issue compared to what I was having this time last month when I was at my worst with it. So I'm very thankful for that. I thank all of you that reached out to see how I was doing or to share your stories about vertigo and Meniere's disease. I appreciate that as well. It gave me things to think about, things to look up, things to research. A lot of you gave me suggestions for things to mention to the doctor because you have it yourselves and to bring it to his attention. So I thank you all for your friendship and your concern, because I'm thankful that it's not going to be a reoccurring issue, but at the same time, I so, in a way, never before, of course, now understand what so many of you are going through, and you have my prayers and my thoughts, because it was it was very stressful, very I just feel for you. I'm just going to say that. I feel it with you. This week, I'm going to continue to work on God Bless America and my Redwork sampler, Redwork and Womack. I'm going to continue to work on Ann Womack. I am going to work on the God Bless America. I think I should be able to finish it in a couple of weeks if I stitch away, because it's a lot of open spaces. It's kind of like a band sampler. Let me share it with you again real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. Because I was really surprised at the amount of progress that I got. As you see, there's a lot of wording, which to me, wording is not always my favorite thing to stitch, but I see a lot of progress quickly when I'm stitching something that has wording on it. But they're in bands, and so the stitched areas are just bands. So you get in a roll with bands, and you can just scoot right along really quickly. And so I'm looking forward to stitching this. And know, if you don't already know, there's also another piece that comes with it in the back. So it's on the back of the pattern. So this one's much smaller. This one is called, it's the small model floss, and it just says, God Bless America, land that I love, my home sweet home. And so she's cut out everything, that the main chorus of the song has been cut out. And it's this and this, and she's made it monochromatic with the exception of there's buttons. But how cool would it be? I think I'm going to kind of flip-flop those two. I'm going to stitch this one, and I'm going to put buttons at the bottom. So it replaces this, but I'm going to put those buttons there. I really like that idea. Thanks for sharing, for being here when I inspiring that. So there's that. So this is what I'll continue to spend a lot of my time this week working on. Like I said, I think if I put a lot of effort into it the next couple of weeks, don't get sidetracked by the next shiny, sparkly, beautiful pattern, then I should be able to knock that out within a couple of weeks. And I will work on Ann Womack on my red thread before bed. I'm still enjoying working on that one. Like I said, I'm making a lot of progress because it's 40 count, and when I pull my threads, when they're on the floss ring or floss tags, or if I'm pulling them off of a bobbin, they're about the length from the fingertip, because I hold the threads here and I pull them out. So what is that, about 18 inches? So that is about the length of one of my threads. So one red thread using 18 inches on 40 count, getting a lot more accomplished than you would think. But anyway, thanks for visiting with me today. Again, happy Independence Day to all my American friends. And I want to thank all of those, whether you're American or not, for watching each week, or lately every 2 weeks, for watching and sharing my stitching with me. I appreciate it. And for all the comments, I thank you for those too. And once again, if you're interested in the Lighthouse Pattern by Silver Street Samplers, then mention Lady Tooth Doc. And on the Stars and Stripes Forever, if you're interested in that, down below, please mention Old Glory. Do not mention giveaway. If you're 18 or older, please get your parents' permission before you enter. But I will be contacting the winner of those patterns on Saturday, this next Saturday evening, and I'll announce them on my next Flosstube. So have a wonderful holiday, make lots of memories, and be safe. Until next time, bye-bye.